Wanted to give everybody kind of an update of where we're at. Looks like we're gonna announce a special election on the 4th of April. Looks like the city's going to conduct the election itself. We're still working details on that. It's a big job for the city, conducting an election, but we obviously have to do that, so we will. I wanted to talk to you a little bit about some of the issues that have been going on here as it concerns council resignations at all. One of the issues I wanted to talk to you about was the $2,000 plus unaccounted for funds. That's been such a topic of conversation with the city. And the city has been in working hard to try and come up with more answers as to where we were at on that. And although the documentation is being compiled even as we speak, I wanted to let you both know that we have reduced that amount down to $444.36. And that money is due from 2 previous employees, the likelihood of recovery for which is very slim to none. So I think we have put that issue to rest. The city is still owed $444.36, and today my wife and I will issue the check to the city of Florence in the amount of $444.36 in the hopes that we can finally put this issue to bed once and for all. I would remind the press that the 2017 audit report indicated a $23,222 outstanding balance on employee advances. Cutler was the auditor who made that what you might call a management letter. When an auditor makes that kind of comment in an audit report, what they're trying to do is tell management that you have an issue that you need to take care of. And the auditor did that. The councilmen who were on council in 2018, when the audit report would have been presented to council by the auditor, for whatever reason, as far as I can determine, based on the lack of any minutes, apparently did not see this as an important issue. Why it became an issue of $2,000 years later is something I can't answer. Might talk to whoever was on the council in 2018 for their comment on it. At any rate, I think we put that issue to bed.
Okay.
I hope. The next thing I wanted to talk about was, if I can find my note. The employment agreement of Mike Patterson by the council in December of 2020. This was following the the settlement agreement between the city and Tammy Keebler over a alleged sexual harassment claim by her against Mike Patterson in the city of Florence. Why Mike Patterson was given another employment agreement in 2020 following that settlement agreement is something I can't answer. He was also given a 4% raise. So one might ask, why was he given that? We can't find any record of any minutes dealing with discussion regarding his employment agreement. Whether that took place in executive session, which may be where it might have taken place. At any rate, the city council in 2020 did authorize a continued employment agreement with Mike Patterson and a 4% raise. The councilors in 2020 and 21 may or may not have information worthy of explanation. So we put that item to bed.
I kind of remember that, and they even gave him another week or two of vacation, if I remember.
Yeah,
right.
yeah, there's something in here, 80 hours of vacation.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, additional 80 hours of vacation. So, you know, it is what it is. And then we got to continued issues in television press primarily about the CBI non-contact on the part of management and Chief Prickett. I wanted to let you know that we weren't just sitting idly by twiddling our thumbs while the CBI issue was churning. It is true that at the mayor's meeting on March 17th, I misspoke. I thought we had talked to CBI about this missing $2,000, and we had not. And I took that on, I admitted my mistake. But following that Monday morning mayor's council meeting, I then found out my mistake, and then I called CBI with Chief Prickett and Finance Officer Lori Kobler, the two chairs you're in. I talked to CBI, explained the issue of this missing money, and CBI informed us it was a misdemeanor, didn't rise to even a felony, and it is not something that CBI would routinely investigate. For whatever reason, continued reporting March 23rd and March 25th went on to indicate that we had not contacted CBI, when in fact we had on March 17th. So I wanted to lay that issue to bed. Further, on March 9th, Lieutenant Engel from the Florence Police Department contacted the Pueblo Police Department in an attempt to have Pueblo Police Department look at these issues, both the chief's contract and this missing or unaccounted for $2,000. And Pueblo PD politely declined to assist us with that. So it's again, it's not like we weren't trying to get other entities or other agencies involved, we just had not been successful. So, with the resignations of council, on apparently the 22nd of March, at least that's when the letters started pouring in, we were still endeavoring to try and come to grips with these issues. Brian Allen sent an email to KRDO, which you have a copy of, which alleged certain things in his email. Potentially missing taxpayer dollars, interest-free payroll loans for the city staff, which we've discussed, questions regarding DRMO, allegations of staff members' conversations being unknowingly and illegally wiretapped within City Hall, possible mishandling of police evidence locker, misallocation of funds. If Councilman Allen had information pertinent to these issues, evidence and or information, he probably should make that known. And why he wasn't asked questions about that from press is something I can't answer. So those were at least his concerns, I assume somewhat mirrored by other council representatives. And that is where we're at on that. So council resigns on the 22nd, and on the 28th of March, yesterday, I was contacted by the Fountain City Manager, Scott Trainer, and Chief Prickett was contacted by the Chief of Police in Fountain, Chief Heberer, I believe I'm pronouncing his name right, who said they would like to come to the City of Florence's assistance and help us delve into some of these areas of concern. Certainly appreciate the City of Fountain stepping up and doing that. We have accepted their offer. They will be sending both forensic and police investigators, primarily to address the areas of concern that Alan brought up in his email to KRDO. So once again, we are in the middle of our annual audit. We had budgeted for that audit. We had programmed for that audit. Council knew about that audit. Why they were so interested in a forensic audit until we could see the results of the current audit is something I can't explain. I'm not sure anyone ever asked them either. The audit that we have ongoing is an expanded audit. The auditor's taking extra time and looking into areas of the finances that she might not have normally looked at real closely, but she is doing a pretty good job at that. So the fountain people, their forensic people, their finance people will be down following the auditor's field work here at the city. And that will probably be next week before they actually come. We may see police support late this week to look at some of the areas more police related, such as evidence and wiretap, wherever that came from. So once again, I want to let you know the city of Fountain has stepped up. And so the concerns that maybe council had about not having any investigative eyes looking at this, we will have with the city of Fountain. And I really appreciate them bailing the city out. Lastly, I wanted to let you know that I got more papers here than a wallpaper hanger. Former councilman Mike Vendetti came to me yesterday wondering if he could unresign his resignation. I told him I didn't think he could, but I'm not an attorney, so I actually contacted an attorney, the city attorney, who determined that his letter of resignation was official. His publication of his resignation with TV and press made it pretty much an official resignation. And there's no city ordinance, no state statute, no case law regarding a unresignation. So, Mr. Vendetti's letter will not allow him to be unresigned and placed back on the council. And we will then continue to drive forward with a special election, as required by state statute. I think that concludes my remarks. Do you have any questions?
Is there any time frame as to when people can start picking up packets?
I think we have to announce the election. That'll be done on the 4th. And then I know Jessica's working very hard with the county and state officials trying to figure out how to pull this special election together. So I don't have an answer for you. I'm hearing through the pipeline, there's a lot of people interested. A lot of people interested in running for office, and that's a good thing. That's a really good thing. So I'm heartened by that.
My wonder is kind of personal, but like the Elks liquor license coming due, are they gonna be able to get it before it expires? That's in May.
Yeah, we've got two actions before the planning commission coming up.
Wow.
And while the planning commission can do its work and go on undisturbed, the fact that it requires council approval or disapproval, depending on what the recommendation is from the planning commission, means those items are gonna be held out in limbo. And we've got items both in April and May on a planning commission docket. So
wow.
Until the council is seated, that kind of formal activity can't take place. And I guess I don't know the answer to your liquor license.
Okay, I just wondering because it's like, okay, we're getting close.
Yeah, we are. I mean, there's some things that the city can do without a council, as long as we have the mayor to sign payroll and bills. But things like official land use decisions and the like, ordinances, you can pass the ordinances. Those are things that, for whatever reason, the old council maybe should have thought of a little more before they resigned.
And the street closure for the 4th of July, is that still kind of undetermined?
As far as I know. What do you think, Cortland? Yeah, it's probably still undetermined.
Oh, wow.